So today is July 1st, and if you guys didn't know, I got this car on May 13th. So that means I've had this car for about a month and a half, and it stayed completely stock for that entire time. Well, with the exception of like window tints and PPF. However, guys, that's gonna be changing today. If you guys saw in one of my more recent videos, I went to Keys Motorsports and I got a whole bunch of mods for this G80 M3. So huge shout out and thank you again to Keys Motorsports for sponsoring the channel, for sponsoring this build. But with their help, guys, we're gonna be going crazy on this M3. If you guys didn't see that video and see just how many mods I picked up for this M3, then this should give you a good idea. Alright guys, and here are all the mods for the M3. If you guys saw them in the last video, now you get to see them outside the car and you can get a better idea of just how many they are. And guys, this isn't even everything. There's still more to come, so I hope you guys are ready and excited for this build, because I definitely am. Now in that previous video, I did give you guys a teaser of one of the items in one of these boxes. Some of them aren't in boxes, so you can probably tell what they are. However, the item that I showed you guys is that box right over there, and that is the front grille. So that is one of the items that we're going to be installing in today's video. But the other item is gonna be this right here. So we're not just changing out this grille, which by the way, a whole bunch of people hate on these G80 M3s, but we're also gonna be swapping out this air intake duct, whatever you wanna call it, right over here, the honeycomb one that I personally hate, and the one that you can swap out with the carbon fiber package. So by swapping out that as well as the front grille, I think we're gonna completely transform the front end of this G80 M3. And that's not even the only thing I have for the front end, it's just the only things we're gonna be installing in today's video. Because like I keep on saying, guys, we have a whole bunch more to install and more coming as well, but I'm gonna break these out into separate videos. So if you guys want to see all of them, make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's a lot to look forward to with this G80 M3. But with that said, guys, let's just get into today's mods and let me show you guys what they look like if you don't know already. So if you guys saw that previous video, I did show you guys what these grills look like, but I'll show you again. These ones I didn't show you guys yet, and honestly I didn't see them in person yet either. So let me just open up these so we can quickly see what these ones look like. So that was a lot of packaging to get through, but here it is, guys. The dry carbon fiber air intake for the G80 M3. This does also work for the G82 M4, by the way, but if you guys don't know what this is gonna look like, it's gonna sit like right over here. It's gonna replace these honeycomb ones, which look really cheap in my opinion, and we're gonna have these like nicer open carbon fiber ones. So this does come as a pair, so there is another one in there for the other side. Now for the grill, which is gonna be easier because this one I already opened. So this is called the CSL style front grille. Another popular one is the Vorsteiner style one. That one also looks really nice. However, I like the extra like details in this grille. The Vorsteiner one is a little too plain for my taste. So similar to the air ducts, this one is also dry carbon fiber. So that means it is super lightweight. From what I've heard and watching other videos, these OEM grills are actually pretty heavy. So weight reduction, right? But seriously, guys, this is gonna be a huge improvement. I mean, these ones, they're really not that bad as people make them out to be. However, they just look a little cheap to me because of those like plastic slats going across. But this, I think, is just gonna look way more aggressive. And honestly, I'm super excited to see this thing on the car. And I don't know about you guys, but honestly, I love this type of stuff. When you can see like the carbon fiber on the rear of the piece, this piece also isn't simple. Like this thing is pretty complicated. It even has the spots for like the sensors, the camera, all that type of stuff. So this is definitely not a simple piece. So if you guys want these grills for your M3 or your M4 or any other mod in these videos, I'll leave links down in the description below, as well as the tools that I use, because those honestly help a lot. Half the job is having the right tools. But anyways, guys, now that you have seen the mods, let's start installing them. So in order to install both these pieces, there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we have to remove the entire front bumper on the G80 M3 to install them properly. But the good news is it's not too hard. If you guys have removed bumpers on any other BMW, it's a very similar process. So the first thing I'm actually gonna do is turn on the car, so that way I can turn the wheel and I can better show you guys what exactly we need to do at that point. So with the wheel turn, we can better see the fender liner. So now guys, there's gonna be a few, I believe 8 or 10 millimeter bolts holding in this fender liner. We have to remove 3 of them. So we have to remove the one right over here, the one right here, and then the last one over there. So once we remove those, like I said, we can pull back the fender liner and we can access the two 8mm that basically go from the bumper into the fender right over here. So as you guys saw, I disconnected the bumper from this side over here, as well as the other side, which I just did off camera. So besides those bolts that I told you guys about, there's also some connections that go inside. I believe that's for like your sensors, your camera, and all that type of stuff. It could vary car by car depending on the options that you have, but just make sure that everything that's connecting the bumper to the car has been disconnected. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is remove the 10mm that go all along underneath the bumper. And then after we do that, we have to remove the bolts and screws that hold on the bumper from the top. So I just undid all those 10mm bolts underneath the bumper, so I think we're good there. Now the next thing that we have to do, like I said before, is remove all the stuff connecting the bumper from the top over here. And so to do that, of course, we have to pop open the hood so that way we can access it. All right, so as you guys can tell, there is some weather stripping just like every other BMW, but this weather stripping is held on by these little clips over here. So we're gonna have to remove all of these so that way we can remove the weather stripping, and so that way we can remove the screws / bolts holding on the bumper. So this is definitely an interesting sight on a brand new $100,000 car with less than 1,000 miles on it. But anyways, guys, as you can tell, I took off the front bumper. Everything went smoothly, everything went cleanly, which I'm really happy about. And now I put the front bumper over here on this towel, so that way we can start working on it, because now of course we have to swap out this OEM grill for the carbon fiber one, as well as these like air ducts. So we have some work to do still, but I'd be lying to you guys if I said I wasn't nervous about removing the front bumper on the G80. Even though I've done it a million times on the F30, on the 435, on the X3, it's just different when it's a brand new car and everything's just like perfect and you don't want to mess it up. However, like I said, everything went pretty smoothly, so hopefully the rest of this goes smoothly, because it's a brand new car. Like, it's so perfect, I don't want to ruin it. But anyways, to get to the grill, we have to pop out the grill, of course, but before we can do that, we have to remove things like these sensors, the camera right over there, these clips in the middle, basically all the stuff that would prevent us from lifting the grill up, if that makes sense. Alright guys, so that managed to be a bigger pain than I expected, to be completely honest. Taking off that old grill, those clips are a little annoying to deal with, but doesn't matter, we got it done. And as you guys saw from those previous clips, I did install the new grill. Now I'm not gonna flip over the bumper and show you guys the finished product yet. You'll have to stay tuned to the end of the video to see it, but we're not done yet, guys. We have to install those air ducts. I'm not gonna lie, I underestimated just how difficult these air ducts will be. Now, normally I think they would be pretty easily, but unfortunately, guys, these bumpers are in like multiple pieces, so you can't just get to the air duct. You have to remove this plastic that goes all around it, that way you can access it. It's not too hard. There's a couple like clips and sensors and 8mm bolts in the way. Those aren't hard to remove. However, just getting everything to line up when you're putting it back is an absolute pain. I feel like everything on this G80 is like one step more complicated than the previous cars that I've worked on. But regardless, guys, we got it done. And let me just tell you, I flipped it over and I looked at it. It looks absolutely amazing. It really does transform the front end of this G80, the grille, as well as the air ducts. You guys saw from those clips, the front grille as well as those air inlets slash air ducts, whatever you want to call them, are officially on. It's all complete. Now this is the next day because yesterday just got too dark out, but regardless, guys, we got it done. It wasn't too bad. Overall installation was doable, but not the easiest. Taking off this bumper is still pretty similar to some of the other cars, but everything just had like one extra step to it. Even removing the old grills was a bit of an annoying task. Like, those clips are definitely not easy, not as easy as the ones on like on the F30 and F32s. And then these air inlets, these were really annoying because it had all that plastic that you had to remove first before even being able to work on this. So overall, not the easiest process. However, it's definitely doable. But overall, guys, it is definitely worth it. This finished product looks so good. The grille looks way better. The air inlets look so much better. Those honeycomb style ones were really ugly and really cheap looking. However, these carbon fiber pieces from Keys Motorsports definitely make it look a lot better. Again, the original like BMW design, and then also the CSL style grille. The fit of everything is also really good. I literally had no fitment issues whatsoever on the grille, as well as these pieces over here. You guys can tell there's literally nothing noticeable. Like, it literally looks like it's OEM fitment. The carbon fiber itself also looks really good. Now, I am worried with time it might turn green, but we will do something to protect it. But in the meantime, guys, let's just appreciate just how good this looks. So many people hate on the front end design of the G80 M3, but I honestly think these two mods, especially together, will change some people's minds. If it doesn't change your mind and you still don't like it, I mean, it is what it is. You don't have to like it. But if you guys are kind of on the edge, let me know. Does this change your mind? Or if you guys own a G80, would you do this to your car? Again, personally, I think it makes it look way better. It looks way more aggressive. It looks a lot less cheap and plasticky. And I also gotta say, guys, we're not done here. Now, obviously, we have a whole bunch of other mods for the G80, but these aren't the only mods that I have for the front end, because the front end still feels like it's missing something. Now, it's pretty obvious what that something might be, but I do have one, and that might be the next video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop it a like. And yeah, with that said, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.